Hello everyone! Today we'll be working on a copy. The most important, the painting is very colorful, large scale, and done with brushes as well as with palette knives. So let us start with the sketch. We start with creation of the line, which will be our horizon line, and it has to be a little bit I will make it a little bit stronger here. They can see horizontal line. From there we have our path, and the path goes, let's see, 1, 2, perfectly in the center, so it can go one line here, maybe not here, maybe just here. And notice I'm not worried about having additional lines. Those lines will be later covered. Here's the second line, so 1, 2, horizon line. Then we have the line of our lamps, and the lamps will go up to here. So I can create another line coming here. It's a 1-point perspective, and the bottom of the lamps will come here. So our first lamp will be placed here. Then another one, noticed here, a little bit greater distance. Let's see, we'll place it here. So between those two lines, so 1, 2, the third lamp has to be of the closer distance than the first and the second. And then another one here, and maybe another one, and so on. Okay. Oh, wait a second. The line has to come here. So we'll go here, a little bit closer, like this. And the same will be on the other side. So boom. Good. So you can see already we zoom into this point, all the elements in our painting. We have also some trees, but I'm not worried about them yet. What I want to do, since this is the trottoir, with this little bit more of the distance we have, so we can make those lamps a little bit longer. And again, I have to get the line here. Fantastic. Now, all those parts of the lamps, the bottom, they have to also follow the same routine. So this will be the one part here. I can make a little bit like a half rounded shape. One lamp, another one will come here. See, a little bit rounder, another one somewhere here. Now, when I'm looking at the tops of the lamps, I have them here. So I see, since we are below the tops of the lamps, I have to make this ellipse, create the ellipse, and then with our ellipse, I will see the bottom of it, so that's why it's rounded. Like this, here, here, this part's coming like this. From there, I have to move to the other side and do very much the same. Fantastic. So, this is done, and we have some lines of trees. You see, we are not even worried about those trees. I'm not going exactly by the way how the trees are presented over there, because everything will be covered so and so with all those different dots. Just for myself, they are just the most important tree. We can see 1, 2, and after that everything becomes very blurry. So the path will go this way here, and then we can start with the colors. And my suggestion would be that we start with the light color. Okay, so for the yellow, I want to get my palette knives. I have one of them here, and then I will apply it right away. So I'm going with horizontal strokes, because that's the straight here. Okay, very fast, and that will be my light. I can also later on, if I will cover some of those yellows, I can let the paint dry, since I use acrylics, that will happen quite fast, and then go back with the colors. And then I will go with yellow there where I think the yellow is. So for example, this whole section surrounding the lamps, I definitely need this color. So, okay, here this really like an elongated triangle here, where this color will be very present, and then some dots here and there. And remember, it will not harm us. Oh, I mix some yellow in it to have those colors, to have yellow, because I can easily cover it with some other colors, placing them on the top. Okay, so here when you look at this, there's another passage in the center when I have this color visible, and I'm quite generous with my yellows. I'm really going for it here and there to have it. Okay. Next color that I want to apply, well, I'm looking here. I probably use my yellow ochre, or you can call it oxide yellow color. I need this color here as well. It's a different yellow, has more of mustardy yellow. Okay. Remember that when you work with palette knives, you don't need to do the entire painting with them. For some details, especially when you work on the smaller scale, you definitely can rely on the brushes as well. Notice that I work on the entire painting at the same time. I'm not choosing the sections at all. Another color that I want to use is my burnt sienna color, or even better, if you have, would be oxide red. In oils, you call it the English red. Okay, then we move it. See, I'm creating this passage, the trottoir, and it's a little bit heavier because I want to get the line here. So you see, with the edge of my palette knife, I'm achieving this line here. I even add some black into it. So it's not just one unified color. I prefer to mix those colors while working on the your case canvas, in mine on the paper. Okay, like this. See, and then I'm bring the colors into the painting. So moving from the line that I just created. I can see that my trunk is done with the color. So you know what? I'm just for myself. I know there are lots of different colors, but just to have it, just indication where my tree will be, I'm just going with the combination of Venetian or oxide color, and I'm applying those two colors on the trunk, and black of course on the top of the trunk, and maybe some also of my lovely branches. See, I also noticed that my lamp will be quite black here with some of the blue on the bottom, which I can later apply, just again to have it. Have a little bit of black, certainly. See, just mixing it. And then we have some darker spots here as well, a little bit before we put the red. I thought that maybe we use first red, but since we have the black, well, why not to do it right away? The next step will be red, and I will use a little bit of cadmium red light. Very good. Now, those beautiful red colors will be present also in the sections around the lamps and in the section between trottoir or pathway and our lamps. Lots of movement. Certainly here. This, and then remember we will have yellow ochre here as well. Right now, just bringing the colors and having fun. Now I can introduce some of this warmer colors, red color here as well. Remember, this passage here will have a little bit more because this will be a blue one. So pathway here, you see, like this, and still I have some yellow, which is important to me to have it. See, and then less and less and less. Just notice I'm moving my palette knife now here, this section in the front, blending some of those colors together and giving really the feel. See, there's like a reflection on the ground. Now the next color that I want to use is blue. I want to come here in, and I don't want to get really yellow color. I have so much of this yellow. So what is easier to do is to apply white first, you see, a little bit heavier, and then we can introduce this lovely color in it. I think we have to go with a little bit of this beautiful yellow here on this side, so otherwise I will lose the effect. So you see, and then put some white again back. But I do want to have this lovely yellow here on the sides. And then we can move to the blue. As blue, we will have two different kinds. See, this is a different blue that we have in the painting, but I will use it for now, like this and like this. And I have to be careful, the paint has to be almost dry, because otherwise it will mingle and get me another color. I mean, we want to have some of this mingleness, but we want to be in charge of it. We don't want that we get colors that we didn't intend to get. So again, this passage and this passage, very, very important. So time to work on the lamps, and I think we have to start with the white color. Oop, moved somewhere else. That's okay. See, I'm using different palette knife. I'm using a smaller one, and I want to really feel first the space there where I have my lamps, following more or less the shape of it, right? Here. Then a little bit of yellow. See, still working. Still bringing those lovely colors, and then there will be some even more red. See, this is quite a long passage, so I'm moving. It's so much fun to work this way. With a little bit more red and brown. See, this brown will come here, and the same on the other side. See, we want to have this nice combination of colors, and of course the black indicating the end of the trottoir and where the street begins. Good. Now we want to go to the lamps and the trees. Now I can bring some orange colors, orange and red colors into the section here, and then manipulate with, like you see, the width here of the patch of blue and so on. I also think that we need to bring some of purple color here. See, because before we put the lamps, I need to have the other color applied, and I see this color present also in the section where we have red, or supposed to have red. So I certainly will bring it here inside of this section between the top of the lamps and the trottoir. See, there's just changing of the colors. Now, do we have it a little bit on the top? Oh yes. So as long as we can mix it in, see, I use a little bit white with it. I also will bring this color on the top. So stroke, 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 some white, and another stroke, stroke. I also have to move to the green. So in this case, let's see, I will use the same palette knife, and I would think about using a little bit of my white and a little bit of yellow. So certain, yeah, that's what I have. See, this color is very artificial, it's phthalo green. So with this phthalo green, I will go to section, especially here, when I have blue and red. So that will help the painting look more colorful. What color do we need? Maybe we will need some black in the sky as well. So you see, very small amounts. I don't want to have too much, I don't want to overpower anything, but it's this section, another triangle in our painting that needs a little bit more emphasis, you see? And then going back here. Okay, so we have the lines, good. And then notice that when we have this line, I also have a lighter color here. So we don't still go to the other parts here. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for the lamps. I have to make sure that the colors work in those sections that I just created here, those triangle sections, that they work together before we proceed to the other sections. Because remember, once we hit the other, start working on the lamps, we want to make sure that the painting will be more or less so advanced that it's just the lamps have to be done, and maybe a couple of strokes here and there, and then that means that the painting will be completed. Okay, I need a little bit more of yellow because I can see that. See, I need to have it. Now I see more colors on the top, and I also noticed that the way how it is applied, see, I still need to mingle it a little bit more. Trees. So finally we came to the point where we are working on the trees and the lamps. So our idea here is that, see, we have to make sure that we are not going really super heavy. The lamp in the front is still okay, but the other ones will require maybe even the brush. See, I'm working with the side of the brush. Whatever I don't like, I will try to scrape. For example, here, this is very heavy, but I will use another palette knife for it. So see, I'm going here, and I'm definitely need to create the top. I don't want to have a huge amount of paint. So I'm moving my palette knife, another one on the side. Now I'm working with the black. So see, this is the base for my lamp, and I have to recreate it. See, it has to be present here. Very good. This time heavier. Good that we had it before, because when you would not mark it, it would be difficult to see the positioning. Okay, so a little bit heavier, still a little bit heavier. This is good. And the tree now. Oh, I still have to come on the lamp. I would even move it a little bit on the side. It's not in the painting, but I like the effect. See, like a little bit more like this. You can mingle the paint here. See, like this, and this is the top. So the tree is coming on this side, and again I start with the black, and I will go for the trunk. Then I can modulate and the same the lines. I bring some of the blue, but this will be the next stage. And really, to create the tree, we want to show that it's heavy trunk. I'm moving my strokes horizontally to create the effect of heavier branches. Trunk and so on, okay? Going here, a little bit heavier, okay? And then if I want to still shape certain parts, see, I can do it, make it narrower, so that the tree will look the way we intended it to be. See, bringing it now with some other colors, shaping it. So I notice also that my lamp needs to have some of the blue colors here as well for the reflections and just to bring one side lighter. So that's what I'm doing, and I will bring some white here as well. And the white is coming on the top of the blue. So first I apply the blue, and now I'm bringing some white, see? And then I'm shaping it by cutting this part here. So I show this is the lamp stem, I call it, and this will be the bottom part. Okay, I also will bring some of the yellow here between, so that is variety, it's not the same. I think that now it's time to work on the other section. So the other section requires very much the same treatment. Okay, so let us start from the lamp. I always like to start with the lamp because this is such a pretty object. Okay, we have to bring some blue, the lamp, and notice I'm just moving it, shaping it. The same will be on this lamp. I certainly can have it over there, and what I can also have, I can also almost like make this part bluish. I want to shape my lamp, and I want to shape it. You see, I bring some white because just a little bit, and then bringing those colors back here. See, oh, I scraped it. Okay, and then what I see here is the brown, but I put this color, and then the brown will come on the top. Good, and then the trees. We are still missing the trees in the back, so it's definitely a tree will come here between the lamps, and it has to have branches. The branches should not follow the same, like you see, different direction, but not starting from the same spot. See, like so. I'm getting this trunk here. See, one branch will start from lower than the other one, and then we go with the trunk. See, like this, and then I would definitely need to create the bottom of the tree. Okay, the strokes, horizontal strokes. Very good. And then almost done, almost. See here. Some of those patches now. We want to make connections here. We can see that the road could be a little bit more emphasized. So we'll bring some of the blue here. You see, and then we move it. And then certainly this section has to be a little bit differently developed. This is too dark. You see, like this here. This is good. So we have all those different sections here now. See, I also have to go for the lamp here. Still a little bit thicker. Like this, okay, to represent it. And then I can apply some black, and then I can come with some white on the top. So I have to go back to my yellow ochre, and with my yellow ochre I want to just simplify the positioning of the road here, so you can see, and then this color will turn into the blackish brownish one, you see. So again, from here I'm simplifying it into this direction. Okay, a little bit more blue again. See, and we have a quite nice painting. Let's put the last patches here and there before we start working on the people. Okay, like this, like this, like this. Okay, some of them will come definitely here. Look at this, look how nice the painting, our painting looks like. We have this section here, this is good. I just make some strange lines here, and I'm thinking now about just, let's see, I have the section there. I want to just bring a little bit more yellow here on the sides like this, and I do want to have the bluish white, but where I have my white and where's my blue? See this, I have already, my white is contaminated, so I have to just watch that I don't get too blue color. Well, I got it blue, but I think that will be better to have it there, and then maybe some pure white on it, this section here. Okay, and then bringing it through here. Now our last step will be to work on the people. So how we do that? Well, we have to look. Oh, they are very, very small, so it will be really difficult to present them, but let us try. Okay. Just a shape, see? So we just have to realize we can present something a little bit more elongated. That will be the size of the person, and the person has to be wider here. See, that is the torso. And then just a pinpoint, that will be our head. Now, and then we will have another person, let's see, coming here, a little bit closer to the person, I think, to the other one, not on the same height. It's red, so I will use also red here, like a jacket or something. I want to have a darker red. Oh, I got some yellow here. I didn't intend to have yellow, but since we have it in it, let's see. Well, I don't have so much red anymore. Maybe on this side here. Okay, let's put this here. Still more. Okay, that's better to apply the colors. Okay, I got some blue and black, and now I will try to make the legs of the person, and then I'll just go with some white around and bring those strokes here. See, and then what is important, I have to bring the reflections on the path of the people. Still, this could be even darker, so I will really try to go with the head. It's a bit stronger here. See? Like this, and now on the path I have to go with the reflections, okay? So you see, like this, and then the other person will be here. So what do you think? Is our painting finished, or should I still clean up a little bit here with the white? See, maybe to really introduce this path that is going there. See, it's darker on the bottom part, I can see it, and it's lighter on the top. So I think we really finish it, otherwise I will never say that's it, that it's done. Guys, have a good day, enjoy it, and just work now on your own, having lots of fun. Have a good day. Bye.